I'm in the Adirondacks right now, in the Santanoni wilderness, starting my Adirondack 46 journey. I'm going to be taking on the Santanoni Range today for the Santanoni Peak, Panther Peak, and Couchsachraga Peak. I chose to do this mountain range in winter conditions because it can get pretty messy in the summertime. There's lots of mud all over the range, and in a cold just before Couchsachraga, there's a pretty nasty mud bog that mountain is infamous for, so I wanted to avoid that if at all possible because I have no interest in trekking through mud. So it should be a pretty awesome day. So this is the first large water crossing right here. Pretty nice bridge. Damn, this is narrow. This snow is like a foot deep and super narrow. Just gonna walk on the wood. Well, here's the Santanoni Express trail. Shoots straight up the side of Santanoni, about 1,800 feet of elevation gain, and it's really steep. I'm probably gonna come down this way and continue up this Panther Brook trail, or Bradley Pond Trail to Panther Brook Trail. All right, I'm here at the intersection. This is the Panther Brook Herd Path trail up to the summit of Panther and Harold Square, just before Panther. So from here on out, it's going to be unmaintained trails all the way to all three summits. Well, I just reached the base of the Santanoni Range. I'm on the Panther Brook Herd Path right now, and I'm going to be heading up to Harold Square and then summiting Panther first, then on to Couchsachraga and Santanoni last. But yeah, time to engage the heel lifters on the Evo Ascents and climb up this. It's just straight up. So I'm about 3/4 of the way up Panther Brook Trail to Harold Square. It's pretty steep. The spot where I crossed over Panther Brook, there was a good section of the ice shelf collapsed into the little brook. So had to find a way around it because it was like a 6 to 8 foot section. Just collapsed right in. These views are just incredible. Wow. Cannot get enough of that view. There's Bradley Pond down there. Well, I made it to Harold Square. Oh, this way we're gonna go to Santanoni and Couchsachraga. And then this way to Panther. I'm on my way to the summit of Panther right now. It's getting pretty windy up here. The forecast did call for 40 to 45 mile per hour winds, so not really a surprise. Starting to open up here. Really windy. There's Santanoni off in the back, right there. And then Couchsachraga, right down there. Amazing views. This is a great day, great weather, despite the little bit of wind. It's amazing. There's Panther. We're heading there right now. Adirondack High Peak #1. This is the first summit of the day and the first of my 46. This is incredible. Perfect day for it. Now it's time to go down to Times Square and then head over to Couchsachraga and then backtrack up to Santanoni. Alright, I'm at what's called Times Square right now. So I'm gonna go this way and then off that way to Couchsachraga, and this way down around this big rock right here goes to Santanoni. But there's a nice lookout over here. Same stuff, different view. Couchsachraga, that's where I'm heading now. And just before the peak in the coal right there is where the infamous bog is. The bog. Well, it's going to be frozen over today, which is going to be nice. On my way to Couchsachraga right now, and this is like almost a straight up bushwhack. I've already lost the trail a couple times. Wow. Amazing view of the Sewards. I get around this tree. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. Seymour, Seward, Donaldson, and Emmons. And there's Couchsachraga. I'm getting really close to the mud bog. So I'm almost there. I'm making my way down into the coal where the bog is, and this is pretty goddamn steep. There's Panther. Just came all the way down that right there. Continuing on. Well, here it is, guys. The infamous Couchsachraga mud bog. This thing is a nasty mess in the late spring and summer. This is so nice. This is exactly why I chose to do this as the first hike for the 46. Making my way to the summit of Couchsachraga right now. I'm really close. Had to come down a lot, so of course I'm gonna have to go back up a lot on the way out. So yeah, just trudging along. This is kind of neat. Oh shit. So a couple interesting things about Couchsachraga is, one, the meaning of it actually translates to dismal wilderness, which I gotta say is definitely a perfect term for it, because I lost the trail so many times. This is amazing. And another is Couchsachraga is actually only like 3,800 feet, so it technically doesn't qualify to be a high peak. However, due to a surveying error a long time ago, it was labeled as such, and now, due to tradition, it is still a requirement to get the 46er. It's amazing. Panther and Santanoni. There it is. Couchsachraga Peak. Adirondack High Peak, number 2. I'm so glad to get this one out of the way. It is definitely a really long hike out there in the middle of nowhere. And like I said, it's treacherous with mud in the summertime, so it was perfect to get out here. All right, now I'm gonna head all the way back up that spur, back up to Times Square, and then over to Santanoni. All right, I'm back at Times Square now. Now it's time to head over to Santanoni. That's gonna be an insane climb. That's for sure. Making my way up Santanoni right now and getting some amazing views. And just hikes all that. Panther over there, down to Couchsachraga, back up to Times Square, all the way through here. Amazing Marcy view back there. So right back there, that squared off peak way in the distance, that's Mackenzie Mountain. And then the little one to the left of it, that's Haystack. That's where I did the Saranac 6. Steep. It's hard not to stop and admire these views. Well, this is it. I'm on top of Santanoni Peak. Unfortunately, it looks like the peak sign is still buried. I believe it's like right about here. This looks like the highest spot. It's also the spot on the map that it shows where the highest point is. But yeah, that completes the Santanoni Range. I just have to head back down to the car. I'm gonna have to go all the way down to Times Square and then Harold Square and go back down the Panther Brook Trail because the Santanoni Brook was kind of raging. So going down the express route right here is just not gonna be an option. It's gonna be too dangerous. So yeah, that's Adirondack High Peak number 3. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe to the adventure, hit that like button. See you next time.